Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Yesterday's front has moved out and the cooler air is pushing in. We'll talk about how much cooler it will be today and how long that will last.
Football fallout. Two statements aim to clear up the UNC football saga. How WRAL's reporting is gaining more traction across the country. Plus, grab your jerseys. The puck drops tonight at 7:30 for the Canes home opener. We are live with what fans can expect on the ice. Hard to believe, hockey season already. Good morning, everyone. It is 4:30. Great to have you with us on this Thursday. And weather-wise, it's starting to be more aligned to hockey season. It's going to be cooler today. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with how fall is starting to settle in now with this front moving past.
Yeah, so cooler air filters in behind that front. We're going to be nice and clear as you're heading out the door. You'll notice a little breezy for today. The flags here at the legislative building aren't moving very fast, but it may be later this afternoon that it feels a lot more blustery. 61 is our temperature right now. That temperature likely to drop on into the 50s over the next couple of hours. Our dew point's way down at 43. That is very dry, so definitely feeling like fall in terms of the humidity. 50s in Rocky Mount, South Hill, as well as Roxborough and Goldsboro. So we're going to see these temperatures in the low 60s in the Triangle falling. Already our temperatures are anywhere from 5 to almost 20 degrees cooler than they were this time yesterday. Hour by hour wind gusts are going to be 15 to 20 miles per hour, especially as we get through the afternoon. So just be prepared for that. And our temperature much cooler today with a high around 70 degrees, but lots and lots of sunshine. Tomorrow we'll start to see the skies clouding up, and over the weekend we're going to have a chance for rain. A much bigger issue along the coast as a low develops there. I'll show you what they'll expect.
Elizabeth, thanks. Breaking news. Authorities are investigating after this crash in Fuquay Varina. It happened just before 2 o'clock this morning. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was on the scene on North Main Street, and you can see a car badly damaged. It appears to have hit a wall and a lamppost. Fuquay Varina police tell us one car was involved. No one was hurt. This morning, we're expecting an update from Fayetteville police after a crash that killed 3 people. Another is in critical condition. The crash happened around 7:30 last night on Rose Hill Road. Fayetteville police tell us only one car was also involved in this crash. Nearby roads were closed last night as officers investigated. The roads have since reopened. We've reached out to find out the names of the victims and what caused the crash. This morning, we are hearing from a UNC football player after reports of toxicity in the locker room. Kamori House took to X after 11 last night to say, block the noise, go Heels, they can't break us. Greatness is a process. House is one of the players WRAL sources have identified as receiving preferential treatment by Coach Bill Belichick. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live at Kenan Stadium this morning. And Kelsey, this is just the latest in the saga coming out of Chapel Hill.
Yes, Renee, this morning we're staying on top of new developments that we're finding out about UNC football. And we heard from Coach Belichick and the director of athletics for the first time late last night. Belichick says, I'm fully committed to UNC football and the program we're building here. The director of athletics expressing that Belichick has full support from his department and the university. Sources tell WRAL there was a locker room fight between 2 players Tuesday. Sources also say UNC cornerbacks coach Armand Hawkins would not be in practice due to personal business, but The Athletic is reporting that he was suspended for providing extra benefits. Decision makers at UNC are looking into a possible exit strategy for Belichick, according to a Tar Heel 24/7 report. Now, his contract says lack of institutional control can be a cause for firing. We spoke with an attorney who says 2 scenarios could point to this argument: players selling tickets and coaches offering improper benefits. But a move like that could be challenged in court.
But given the history of how that term has been used and the things that have been used to constitute a lack of institutional control, I think it would be a difficult case to make that those 2 violations, if you want to call them that, constitute a lack of institutional control on the part of Coach Belichick.
You can follow our coverage all day long on WRAL.com. Just search keyword Belichick. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Chapel Hill.
WRAL's investigation in UNC is getting national attention. It was a topic of a widely circulated podcast called Pardon My Take.
There was that report that came out today. I think it was WRAL.
I read that.
The long story about just how bad things are getting there. It does feel like this is there's a lot of things happening that would point to Belichick not sticking around too much longer.
WRAL's reporting on the Belichick locker room immediately took off online. Pat Welter's first story broke Monday at 6 p.m. and spread from our TV news to the web and social media. The YouTube version has more than 126,000 views. You can watch Pat's original story and each development on the WRAL YouTube page. Be sure to tune in for extensive coverage beginning at 4 p.m. This morning, planners will break ground on what will be the tallest building on the Raleigh skyline. The Highline Glenwood will go where the old Pine State Creamery factory stood on Glenwood Avenue. The new mixed-use site will have 37 floors and include restaurant and retail space. For comparison, the PNC building has 32 floors.
When you have a building this large, it adds a lot of tax revenue. And so tax revenue comes to the whole city that gets spread around. So even if you don't live near it or work in it or anything, that building still helps the city because it adds a lot of tax revenue as well. And then it helps a little bit with our housing crisis that we're in as a country, really, but certainly as a region.
The Highline is expected to have amenities such as a fitness center, pool, and will provide a great view of the city. No word on how much each unit will cost. President Donald Trump says that Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a peace plan, which he says will allow for the quick release of all hostages in Gaza. In exchange, Israel will withdraw their troops. Crowds gathered in Tel Aviv's Hostages Square to celebrate the ceasefire plan. An Israeli source says the hostages are expected to be released on Saturday or Sunday. Trump emphasized that all parties in the agreement would be treated fairly. Today, the Court of Appeals will hear arguments over National Guard deployment in Portland. At issue, whether President Trump has the authority to send in the National Guard. The three-judge panel will decide whether to uphold or reverse a temporary order barring the deployment of the National Guard. Now, this past weekend, a judge ruled that the National Guard cannot be deployed for at least 14 days. The state of Oregon argues the deployment of the National Guard is unlawful and unnecessary. The feds claim extra help is needed to secure the ICE facility in South Portland. A Durham family is looking for answers after finding over 20 pieces of opened and undelivered mail thrown into a ditch behind their mailbox. The mail found includes letters, medical documents, wedding invitations, pay stubs, and more. Marcus Turner found the batch of mail. The discovery prompted him to look into his own mail. He found that his mail never reached their destination.
Sending out the check for our first mortgage payment, 4 or 5 days ago. It got cashed a couple days ago, so I figured everything was okay. And then this morning, I got a call from the bank saying they hadn't received the check.
We've reached out to the U.S. Postal Inspection Service to see if they're investigating the situation. We are waiting for a response. In the meantime, go to WRAL.com for information on how to prevent mail theft. A Wendell man faces serious charges for shooting in Zebulon. Police arrested 24-year-old Javier Montague without incident yesterday. He faces 3 charges, including assault with a deadly weapon and attempted robbery. Montague was charged with the shooting on Shannon Drive near NC 97 and Mac Todd Road last week. The victim is recovering from serious injuries in the hospital. The loudest house in the NHL is expected to live up to its name tonight. The Carolina Hurricanes get their season started tonight against the New Jersey Devils. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar is live at Lenovo Center this morning. Ali, Caniacs are expecting big things on the ice again this season.
Renee, the Canes have been one of the league's best teams over the past 7 years, and fans will be wearing their Canes merch, their jerseys, hoping tonight's game will be another indicator of a strong season. Now, the Canes have made it to the Stanley Cup playoffs 7 years in a row. Last season, they advanced to the Eastern Conference Final before losing to the Florida Panthers. They have a lot of new faces on the roster this season, and they're trying to make another run at the Stanley Cup. There have been some changes in the front office, too. Just this week, their president, Doug Worf, stepped down. No word yet on his replacement, but puck drops at 7:30 p.m. at the Lenovo Center. Again, they're playing the New Jersey Devils. They're going to be wearing their black uniforms tonight. Heads up for fans. And we're going to have more in the next half hour on what fans can expect of their experience tonight. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
And get ready for the Carolina Hurricanes gearing up for their home opener tonight. The team will be coming off a season where they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. This year's group ready to go deep into the playoffs again. Game starts at 7:30 at Lenovo Center. WRAL will have complete coverage from the tailgate to the game on the ice. Be sure to tune in for live team coverage beginning on our 4 p.m. newscast. Captured, the last of the inmates who escaped a New Orleans jail months ago is back behind bars, where law enforcement agents tracked him down. Wildfire suspect in custody. Police say they've captured the man behind a deadly California fire. What investigators say he did after starting it. Fall weather settling in. We'll have mostly clear skies this afternoon with drier air in place. Elizabeth tells us how warm our temperatures will get.
The WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:44 and our skies are clear now after a gray day yesterday. We ended up with the sunshine trying to peek out from time to time, but it's nice and clear this morning. The moon is not full, but it's still nice and big out there if you get a chance to take a look at it if you're headed out early this morning. You might want to grab a jacket, noticeably cooler than yesterday, especially our northern counties. Roxborough is checking in at 54 right now. Cary and Rocky Mount at 59, but a little bit warmer in Goldsboro and Fayetteville in the mid-60s. The cool air is moving in from the north, and so we're going to start to see the cooler air in the north first, and then that cool air filters down to the south as we get through the morning hours. It's likely to be fairly breezy today. We'll see winds gusting about 15 to 20 miles per hour through the afternoon, and kids at the bus stop again with these cooler temperatures may be happy in a jacket. Temperatures this afternoon stay fall-like with a high of just 70 degrees. Coming up, we're going to talk more about a coastal low that we could see over the weekend.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Expect to see more law enforcement on roads in the area. The Highway Patrol and local law enforcement will increase patrols this month. Studies show October is one of the deadliest months on the road in North Carolina. Last October, 156 people lost their lives in crashes on North Carolina roadways. More than 20% of the deadly crashes that occurred in this state involved speeding.
We use the information provided by the DOT to determine what locations we're going to work, and we target those locations for speeding, for reckless driving, aggressive driving, and those things that would cause crashes or crash-related fatalities.
Officials say shorter days in October can make it difficult for drivers to see as it gets late. 2 state troopers are being treated for gunshot wounds after a chase turned deadly. The troopers were responding to a retail theft charge when the suspects fled the scene. Troopers used spike strips to stop the vehicle. 2 women complied with commands to get out of the vehicle, but a man started shooting at officers, striking 2. Troopers returned fire, killing the shooter. The last of 10 fugitives who escaped from a New Orleans jail nearly 5 months ago is now back in custody after a tense standoff in Georgia. Authorities say 28-year-old Derek Groves is from southwest Atlanta. He was found hiding in a crawl space after a 3-hour standoff with U.S. Marshals and the Atlanta Police SWAT team. Groves had been on the run since May 16th when he and 9 others escaped from the New Orleans Justice Center. Details on what led to his capture are limited, but Crime Stoppers say they got a tip.
You are one of the most important pieces of this puzzle because you step up when you call in, when you provide that tip, when you show up in court. That's what makes this happen.
Groves is expected to be sentenced to life in prison for his conviction of double murder from a Mardi Gras gathering in 2018. He now faces additional time for the escape. A 29-year-old Uber driver is charged with setting a deadly fire in California that killed 12 people and destroyed 7,000 homes and businesses. Federal authorities say Jonathan Rinderknecht set the Palisades fire during the early hours of New Year's Day. Investigators say the fire smoldered underground for about a week until on January 7th, heavy winds caused that underground fire to surface and spread. Authorities say Rinderknecht tried to call 911 several times, but couldn't get through, possibly because of cell signal.
This is a day that we need to all think about what happened 9 months ago. And to me, it doesn't bring any closure, but hopefully it's the first step toward justice.
The acting U.S. attorney shared an image he says Rinderknecht created on ChatGPT. It depicts a burning city and people leaving. The motive is unknown. This morning, students at Millbrook Magnet Elementary will get a special escort to school. Raleigh police officers will participate in National Walk and Roll to School Day. The program promotes safe and active transportation options for students. And we love it when the weather works out where it's going to be dry this morning. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, and also those dew points. Feeling fabulous, Elizabeth.
Oh, it feels so nice out there right now. Of course, with the transition with our cold front just shifting offshore, we do have some windy conditions in our forecast for the next 4 or 5 days, actually. 20 to 25 mile per hour gusts today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, over the weekend, it comes from a different source. For today and tomorrow, it's related to our cold front that's sliding eastward, but Saturday and Sunday, we're going to see a low developing along the coast that will affect our weather here, but it has a big effect potentially for the coast, especially the Outer Banks. It's pretty quiet right now here in downtown Raleigh, 61 degrees. Officially at the airport, our wind is coming out of the northeast at about 11 miles per hour. We'll start off in the 50s for the most part this morning. Already in the Triangle, we're gusting to almost 20 miles per hour, but we're not seeing gusts anywhere else. Wind, though, is steady about 5 to 15 miles per hour already. So again, looking at those breezy conditions, winds gusting up to around 20 for today. Our temperatures have started to fall into the 50s in our northern counties. Our wind is coming out of the north from the Triangle area through Southern Pines and Fayetteville. We'll see those temperatures dropping into the 50s a little later this morning. It's 59 in Cary, 57 in Durham, 61 in Fuquay-Varina, 61 in Garner. 24-hour temperature change noticeable. Just 5 degrees in the south, but 15 or so up to the north. And we'll see that cooler air continuing to filter down to the south through the day today. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s to low 70s. Lots of sunshine, feeling nice and crisp, that nice low dew point. You can see the cool air filtering in from the north. High pressure up to the north will help to push that cool air southward. That means beautiful conditions for the Canes home opener. If you're tailgating, temperatures will be mainly in the mid 60s to near 70. And then when you get out of the game, temperatures will be in the 50s. And open window weather for tonight as our overnight lows drop into the upper 40s. Now, over the weekend, we'll see a low developing along the coast. That will bring some clouds and some showers for us Saturday and Sunday, but some major impacts, especially along the Outer Banks. We're going to talk about the potential for flooding and high surf coming up in just a little bit. We'll kind of walk you through what we'll see over the weekend. We'll talk about how much rain we could see here Saturday and Sunday coming up.
Appreciate the reminder to open the windows. It's going to feel nice. Thanks, Elizabeth. 4:51 now. Aces are wild. A thrilling end to Game 3 of the WNBA Finals. The shot that brought down the house. And good as gold. How the top creators on Instagram will soon be able to stand out. The Aces secure another victory on trust of MVP A'ja Wilson.
Wilson on the drive, the fade. You bet! You bet! A'ja Wilson with .1 to go.
Wilson scored 34 points in the victory, the most points scored in a single postseason in WNBA history. Game 4 is Friday night in Phoenix. 2 movie stars will play a married couple again, this time as the McCartneys in an upcoming Beatles biopic. David Daniel shares movie news in today's Hollywood Minute.
Saoirse Ronan is joining the Beatles biopics. According to multiple reports, the 4-time Oscar nominee is set to play Linda Eastman McCartney, wife and eventual bandmate of Paul McCartney. Oscar nominee Paul Mescal plays Paul. He and Ronan also played husband and wife in the 2023 sci-fi thriller Foe. The 4 Beatles biopics, one from each band member's point of view, are due out in 2028.
This game, it fills stadiums overseas. And it's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
Or a movie screen. A secret screening at the New York Film Festival turned out to be the world premiere of Marty Supreme. Star Timothy Chalamet and director Josh Safdie were on hand for the surprise. Marty Supreme opens in theaters December 25th.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but we're going to Jersey.
The heroes in a half shell make a shocking discovery in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Chrome Alone 2 Lost in New Jersey. The new short film is set to play in front of the SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants when it debuts in theaters December 19th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Lost in New Jersey. Well, Instagram users will soon have a new way to spot top creators. The social media app plans to award 25 creators the new Rings Award. The new reward comes as brand deals and creator bonus programs slowly decline. If a creator is given a Ring Award, they will receive a physical gold ring as well as a virtual gold ring around their Instagram profile icon. It's 4:56 on your Thursday. Chapel Bill fully committed. The Tar Heel coach says he is all in on the program after reports of dysfunction and toxic team culture. New comments this morning from one of the players at the center of the reports. Plus, high-rise groundbreaking. Today, a new milestone for what will be Raleigh's tallest tower. New information on the Creamery's skyscraper. And a crash in Fuquay Arena. We're working to learn more after a car hit a wall and a lamppost. The new information from police.